The Jets have a day off today, but here at Boy Green Daily, we don't. We get into all the juicy deets and get you ready for padded practice tomorrow. Without further ado, let's get started. Zoinks! But it is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Aaron Rodgers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Happy Monday morning, everybody. This is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. This is Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show live every morning at 7:30. And every Monday, we have this individual on. It's great. It's nice to have this constant rapport with this individual. You know who he is. His name is Matt Gosh Darn O'Leary. So without further ado, let's bring him on the program. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Wouldn't want to start my week off with any other way than Boy Green Daily. So amped up to get into another show with you.
Well, let me say this, Matt. I don't know how you feel about your 18,000 plus subscribers. Flex on them. But they're incredibly loyal, Matt. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this. So there was a lot of highlights yesterday at practice. And one of them, of course, was Jason Brownlee's freaking ridiculous catch. Zach Wilson lofts one up, mano-a-mano of Brandon Echols, and he just freaking mosses, imaginary ladders his ass over and hauls it in. And constant comments, Matt O'Leary, he was first on Jason Brownlee. Yeah, apparently you are the leader of the Jason Brownlee fan club. I just want to know, were you aware of that? Yeah.
I'm happy that was in the comments because I am definitely a part of the Jason Brownlee hive. I am all in on Brownlee for wide receiver 6. I thought that there was a good chance he would push, Mims for that spot. And with Mims gone, I think he has the inside track. I love it. That is fantastic. That's why we do this, so that we get the our guys going in there defending us for the highs we've carved out for wide receiver 6. It's the best.
Isn't that beautiful? Well, I will just say this because I'm kind of glad, and this is going to sound horrible, but I'm kind of glad that the Jets didn't waste Mims' time or our time, quite frankly. They ripped off the Band-Aid at the beginning of the camp. I think all of us, outside of the Denzel Mims hive, God rest in peace. If I had a drink, I'd pour it out for you right now. But like for those people that were still holding out, like he wasn't going to make this roster with the construct of the team, wide receiver 6 playing literally 1% of the special team snaps last season. It just wasn't going to happen. So to remove him from the picture, it's great for guys like Jason Brownlee, because if Mims was on the team, you would have had to give him reps probably during training camp, and that would have taken things away from Jason, and maybe even that play never happens if Jason's not in on that particular play. So, while it sounds harsh and terrible, I'm kind of glad that they traded him when they did, because Brownlee, Xavier Gibson, and all these younger cats on the roster, I think, are going to have even more wax at the piñata.
No, 100%. And I like the phrasing you had of it, where they weren't wasting anyone's time. Like Denzel, it's unfortunate that it didn't work out, but you didn't have to go through yet another training camp of will he or won't he. They move him to a spot where he will get a better opportunity, and that's good for him. I hope he seizes that opportunity. And for the Jets, you're able to see some other guys, and I think it's a win for both sides here. And Brownlee, there's a ton of other guys who could potentially get that spot, but I think he's the favorite for me, at least.
All right, let's go to the poll of the day. And I will admit, before I even throw this on the screen, this may be the most ridiculous poll of the day I've ever put up in history. But nonetheless, we have a show every day, so I can dabble in those waters. So let's throw this up on the big board here. And the poll of the day is this. And if you guys are like, what the hell is a poll of the day? If you're new to the show, again, link to every live stream. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter right now. There's a link to an article that gives you all kinds of quick sampling. I love a buffet. Buffets are great. You can kind of dabble where you'd like. There's poll of the day, some social stuff in there. But the question is, Aaron Rodgers has looked really impressive. We've had 4 training camp practices so far. Again, day off today and then pads come on tomorrow. We'll get into that with Matt in a second. But have your expectations risen or stayed the same based on these impressive practice? We're talking practice results. And so far, you can't see it here, but it's kind of 50-50. It's leaning towards risen, like 55%-ish. Again, we still have a bunch of hours to vote in that poll. Matt, is this as ridiculous as a poll as it seems, or have your expectations actually risen? Because the idea of Aaron Rodgers is phenomenal, and that you actually see it in practice, like both in practice in the actual term and also literal practice. I'm just kind of like, whoa, all of a sudden I feel like it's gone higher, if that's even possible.
I totally get that, and I don't want to be a complete buzzkill, but I did vote same. But not in a condescending way. Like, my expectations were pretty high with him coming in to begin with, specifically with Garrett Wilson, which I feel like that was the big story from yesterday's training camp practice.
Oh my God.
The catch that he made, and just an unbelievable toe tap. And the video went viral, as it should, because those are Rodgers to Garrett Wilson. Just continue to feed me that all, training camp and regular season long. It's just great stuff. But yeah, I mean, my expectations were pretty high to begin with, so I don't think a couple of practices are going to change that. But it's, as you're saying, like, it's nice to see it come to fruition, because all off season long, we're just talking about it. It's, oh, wouldn't it be so nice to have Garrett Wilson getting the ball thrown to him by Aaron Rodgers, and the ceiling and the potential. We're kind of seeing it being put together here, and all the reports coming out of training camp. Like, another one of my favorite things too is who cover the team saying that comparatively, this is the best quarterback play we've seen on the Jets. It's like not even remotely close. Like, how does that not get you super amped up for the start of the season?
Absolutely. And it has me freaking losing my mind, quite frankly. The other thing that does as well is that red zone offense, because, I don't even know what's happening. From what I'm aware of, you create a turnover, you get yourself in the red zone, you quickly go 3 and out, and just make sure you secure your 3 points. That's what I've grown accustomed to, Matt O'Leary. So I'm not really sure what's happening here with these people getting 2 feet in this thing they call an end zone, and suddenly your points double to 6. I'm not quite sure if you're familiar with that, but that's been pretty neat to see with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Yeah.
It's rare, right? I didn't think you could do that as regularly as what we've seen so far, but it's going to be nice to just have, like, I don't know, competent NFL offense. We're used to bottom 5, bottom 10 offenses, and even if they give you, top half of the league offense, we'll set a conservative bar of just top half of the league. I think we'd all be thrilled.
Yeah, and the thing that I think is really cool is that there have been seasons that I am somewhat shameful to admit. The Jets offense gets a first down, I'm losing my crap. Like, here we go. That is 1/10 of the way there. And then now that, like, of course, Aaron Rodgers got a first down. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers. So, again, there is kind of this flipping of expectations, I guess, from that standpoint, from the pre-programmed brains of Jet fans. You said that your expectations were high. I don't know if they're tangible things to your expectations. What are those for Aaron Rodgers? You said they're already high when he arrived. What, describe.
Yeah, I think this is going to be close to a top 10 offense, either, right around there, or maybe at worst like 12. So I guess maybe I'll say top 12 offense. But
okay,
for a Jets team, like, how many times can we say, we're around the same age, we've watched the same era of Jets football. Yes, it's very rare that we could say that we've seen a Jets offense look like in the top half. The last time you could say that is 2015, and that was with Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm. It's just crazy. So I think they'll be a very productive offense. They have a chance with Garrett Wilson, like, I don't know, like a 1,500-yard season. That sounds insane to predict for a Jets wide receiver, but the guy's an absolute stud. And getting the ball thrown to him from Aaron Rodgers, I think, is just only going to elevate his game from last year, which as a rookie had 1,100 yards with Wilson and Flacco and Strevler and White, and just this laundry list of names at the quarterback position. And I can't wait for regular season football. I'm already itching after 4 practices. I need it.
Yeah. I believe in my heart of hearts that both Garrett Wilson was cheated and we, the fans, were cheated. And what I mean by that is this. Garrett Wilson, remember back to week 1. I was there for the season opener last year at MetLife Stadium. Garrett Wilson didn't. We saw the snaps at halftime. We're like, what the hell? How is the 10th overall pick like not being able to surge past these other guys? So you have that. So the playing time was all weird from that perspective. And then you see that Garrett Wilson was making these crazy catches because there's all these inaccurate passes around him. And now I feel like our just rewards are coming, our just desserts. That friggin' throw, just to drool over it a little bit more. Aaron Rodgers rolls out the pocket, keeps play alive, couple pump fakes, whoop. And Garrett Wilson, I don't understand this because I'm just a fat guy with a dad bod. So I don't even understand how my fat ass body could possibly contort. But Garrett Wilson rises up, catches the ball, and then like contorts his body in a weird way to do it. And then he's like, shit, I better get my 2 feet in. Dude. And then he starts celebrating. And my brain just went like, what just happened? So like the fact that Aaron Rodgers, in a way, is maximizing the talent of Garrett Wilson. Like Garrett Wilson was great last year, offensive rookie year, like phenomenal. But the fact that there is this expectation, you said 1,500 yards, there are these other levels to him that could only be achieved, apparently, with the right quarterback play. And again, no regular season football has happened yet. That, to me, is crazy. That all of a sudden, we thought Garrett Wilson was good last year. Oh, you guys have no idea. It's this. Devontae Adams gave him a shout-out I saw on social media, both him and Aaron Rodgers. Sound like he was a little, not salty, but like, a little thirsty, probably more. He was like, oh, that looks pretty good over there. That wouldn't be too shabby. I thought that was fascinating, too.
Yeah, he probably misses it a little bit. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Derek Carr, who he was with last year, and
right.
They're good friends. They went to the same college, but going from Aaron Rodgers to Carr and now Jimmy G, big difference.
Let me throw this comment up there because I know there is, I believe, multiple bits of news coming out today, but one of them is the one that is painfully obvious. We all know that doesn't really take away from the excitement. It's still cool, but like one of the bits of things that is coming out today are likely the throwbacks that was leaked by somebody. I can't remember who for the 24th today was supposed to be revealed. And then we had Woody Johnson's tweet last night. Are you pumped up for it? Are you a little bit like, well, okay, let's pretend to be excited for the Jets social media team. We've never seen this before. What's your expectation for today? Because obviously the Titans doing that last night, the Oilers, which I love. I love the old school uniforms.
Yeah, I'm all in on a throwback, and especially for this one. I mean, like I have the sign behind me of the logo.
Yes,
I love it. I really love that logo, so I can't wait to see it. I know we got the little tease last week, but it was such a grainy video, and you can make out some of what it's going to look like, and a leak is a leak. You have a pretty good idea what it's going to look like, but I'm sure the Jets are going to roll out some really high caliber production of either whether it be another teaser and then a big release, but I'm excited to see it not only on social media, but then on the field. It's such a great logo, and fans have been asking for this for so long. So good on the Jets for, finally putting it back into rotation. I think it's long overdue.
Does Matt O'Leary reach in the wallet and make a purchase if all of a sudden the Jets are like, hey, throwbacks and here you go, website, boop. And if so, what jersey? Do you feel compelled to go in a certain direction?
Oh, immediately pulling the trigger on one. I turn the tweet notifications on for the New York Jets. So like we got to act quickly because they're going to sell out very, very quick. But how do you not go number 8 now? I unfortunately have a Elijah Moore number 8 Jets jersey. That's not doing me too hot right now. So I think I'd pull the trigger on the Rodgers jersey. I don't know how you don't grab Aaron Rodgers now.
Yeah, that's my gut. Although a fan gave a compelling case. This topic came up the other day on one of our shows, and they said, well, because it's kind of an ode, because it's all everything's connected. Okay, that like with Joe Klecko going to the Hall of Fame, the New York Sack Exchange has come back up, and right over my right shoulder is the old school Jets helmet that's autographed by all 4 members of the New York Sack Exchange, which is one of my prized possessions over here. And that it all connects together that, hey, if you buy a jersey as a fan in a tip of the cap to the Sack Exchange, you got to get like Quinnen Williams or one of the defenders because that makes it full circle. I said, oh, I didn't think about it that way. I just thought get whatever jersey you want. But I said, oh, okay, that's another compelling case potentially to jump over there. So fascinating.
Yeah, totally get that. I think that's a good call. And like you, I didn't think of that right away, but after
my brain's not smart enough for that.
No, that's quite okay. I'm in the same boat, but after a nice extension, going with Quinnen, that's not a bad option either.
I want to selfishly make sure we get this in. I wrote an article about it, and it's also linked down below. I just have a feeling, man, that Al Woods is going to be like one of the biggest free agent gems. We've completely overlooked it. We, as like a general everybody, you just have this fat guy coming up. You're like, all right, we got this fat guy to plug in. But man, the Jets seem like, with the wording of both Al Woods, the wording of Robert Saleh, that they believe, he's not just going to be this fat space eater, that he's going to be this guy that's being able to pursue up the field. And quite frankly, if you look at his career trajectory, career numbers at 36, like, he's never been that guy. He has 9 career sacks. He has like 20 quarterback hits, which, again, we're talking less than a sack a season. So like, it hasn't been there, but it just seems like the Jets have this weird plan for him. And considering all the other guys on the defensive line, I feel like he's a breakout guy, and it revs my engine, quite frankly, that we can have another breakout guy with all the other guys that are breaking out.
Yeah, no, I love the article. I checked it out, and I commented on it saying that I think he's going to play on early downs next to Quentin Williams. I really think that's their plan. And they brought in Jefferson as well from Seattle, and I thought he has a shot to do it. And obviously we know how much the Jets are going to rotate that defensive line, but especially on first downs, I feel like it's going to be Al Woods next to Quinnen. And I agree with you. I think he's going to be really good. And he talked about how he spent a ton of time in a 3-4 and hasn't really played a whole lot in a 4-3. And he's excited for this new opportunity. And it's not going to be so much, just kind of eating up space and clogging up the middle for the run. He's going to be able to get after the quarterback a little bit, but I'm with you. I think he's going to be really solid for this Jets team.
What do you think changes? So pads come on tomorrow. Again, I reiterate, practice off today, which is going to be crazy because we've had practice 4 days in a row, obviously, and it's been highlights all over the freaking place and interviews and press conferences and things like that. Pads come on tomorrow. What changes, if anything, Matt?
I don't think a whole lot. I don't think they're gonna go, crazy nuts. But I'm curious to see if some of these same trends continue. Because early on, the first couple of days, it felt like the defense was further along than the offense, which really isn't, all that surprising. I feel like that happens pretty much every year. And then the Jets offense with Aaron Rodgers, I thought, caught up a little bit quicker. But I want to see if you're still seeing that. That same compete level from Aaron Rodgers and this wide receiver core. I think that's obviously going to be the case, but I'm also keeping a close eye on both trenches, offensive and defensive line, who's getting the first team reps, how they're looking, how the battle is. And, got a little chippy on Sunday. We might see a little bit more of that with the pads coming on.
Yeah, 2 things here. First off, to your point, it's hard to evaluate guys in the non-padded stuff because you hear the reporters, if you guys are Twitter watching or even reading some reports, you're saying like, that probably could have maybe been a sack, so I'm not sure the play that happened after the fact. Like, it becomes a lot more clear in the padded practices. Like, again, they're still not annihilating Aaron Rodgers or anything, but like, you're like, you could get a little better sense because these hog mollies are clashing against each other, number one. And number two, to your chippiness point, I don't know where it registers on the Richter scale of concern, but it's getting chippy, and then you're slapping pads on. I'm like, ooh, there's going to be some hitting going on out there. And hopefully, of course, no injuries. We don't want any more, and our love and everything sent out to Chuck Clark. So, like, that's a little bit like, ooh, okay, you put some mustard on the sandwich. There's going to be some impact going on there. Yeah.
No, for sure. And I loved Salah's comments from yesterday about it and was saying like, keep it below the head, above the waist. And it's like, yeah,
that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was so good, but I understand it happens every single year. I'm not going to put a ton of stock into these little training camp fights. It's going to be, they're going to show it on Hard Knocks with the dramatic music going, the whole thing. And look, it is what it is. It happens every single year. It happens at all these training camps, these guys competing in a really tough and high pressure, high stakes opportunities here. So, again, I'm not putting a whole lot of stock into it.
All right, 2 things before we get out of here. Of course, guys, if you're unaware, we at Heavy on Jets are running a Jets schedule prediction contest. And let's just do simple math here. 59 people, as of the start of recording, have entered the contest. There are 65 people in the room right now. Math 2 + 4 means all of you that are watching live just right now, not even throughout the entire show, have not entered. So, guys, what are you doing? It's linked everywhere that you are currently watching this right now. You can read all the rules down below. You have a chance at winning a Jets jersey of your choice, which could be coming at perfect timing with these throwback uniforms and everything else coming out. You have an opportunity. Enter down below all the details. Again, it's a party. Matt's in it. I'm in it. A bunch of people are in it. So we want you to join us. Again, 59 Jet fans, including all of us, are inside the challenge, so to speak. And we want you to be in it. So please make sure you join. Matt had a pretty healthy record. So did I, for that matter. And again, it's going to be spicy. Have fun. Get involved in the comment section. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The more the merrier. Super excited. Once I saw that, I'm like, I immediately got to get in on this. It seems like a whole lot of fun. And it's a great community in there. Just, going through, talking Jets football, giving their predictions. I love seeing the different variants, but it's a lot more positive, which is obviously expected.
Guys, of course, we do this show live every morning at Boy Green Daily, 7:30. I'm actually going to be on with Matt O'Leary in a couple of minutes here because I'm just a freak and can't get enough anywhere. So I'm going to jump on something else. But before I jump there, and technically I will be on that too, I'm just telling you, universe, there may be some news on a Jets off day. That's all I can say, but stay by your phones, people. Today, something could be happening. And I'm not talking about no jerseys, if you catch my drift, okay? I'm not talking about jerseys. So, guys, just going to sprinkle that out there, and hopefully we can tell you guys soon. So there you go. So some juicy Jets news to come. Matt, thanks for joining us, man.
Love it. Look forward to it every single Monday. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon. Again, I'll be hopping over to Jake Asman, who's starting here in just a couple of minutes. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Peace.